Thank you for joining me today. Unafraid, right or wrong. It is Tuesday, November 7th. I'm George Reister. Got a couple great things for you guys today. It's going to be the greatest Unafraid show of all time. Telling you, again, we keep doing this, getting better every single day. So how can it not be the greatest? Couple things up today. First of all, why on earth do you vote along party lines? I can't understand it. It's the most elementary thing that you could possibly do when it comes to our democratic society, voting along party lines, just blindly going and voting for whoever and whatever has an R or a D next to it, or an I if you're an independent. Next thing up, Miko Grimes, who is a Brent Grimes, the cornerback, kind of journeyman, but he's been in the league for a while. His wife likes to spill the tea. That means tell news all the time, break news, and gossip. So she said that the Raiders O-line let Derek Carr get hurt. And we'll talk about that over the national anthem and kneeling and all of this stuff. And also, there's a new breaking allegation that Alabama players were paid in 2009. We're going to discuss that and why it's a non-issue and why it's idiotic to even begin with and bring this up. So let's get started, first of all, with the Raiders and their offensive line. So I tweeted about this earlier. And to me, so she got on The Breakfast Club. The Breakfast Club is a hip-hop morning show. She got on there talking about the Raiders offensive line and the national anthem and / the protests and how people feel about it. And what she said was actually like shocking. It broke news. Well, allegedly broke news. Whether you consider it fake news or whatever, I consider it fake news because it doesn't make any sense to me. So she said that Derek Carr, who's the Raiders quarterback, that that morning before the game, there was this big fight, big argument about whether the offensive line was going to kneel after President Trump called the NFL players sons of bitches. So they got an argument about that, allegedly, according to her, and that the players were so upset with Derek Carr because he said, we need to stand. This is America. You know, he's a Christian man, all these things, that we need to stand for the national anthem, and he's going off. And so they decided to let him get sacked and get hurt. And I just thought that was like a fantastic lie. Like, I just thought it was like unbelievable. Not only was it unbelievable because Miko Grimes said it, and her son and her husband plays for the Buccaneers, but also because I asked Raiders players, did this happen? The Raiders had a meeting on Saturday night to talk about what they were going to do. Jack Del Rio supported the players in whatever display they wanted to make after the president called them sons of bitches. This is before they played against the Washington Redskins. So the coach supported them. They were going to do something as a team. They were deciding what they were going to do, right? And so the fact that anybody believes that they would let their quarterback get hurt on purpose is idiotic, because you always have to remember this. NFL stands for not for long. And if you're an offensive lineman and you intentionally let your quarterback get hurt, you, my friend, will be out of a job pretty quickly. And everybody likes making their money. So why on earth would that make sense? And then also, like, even the most logical thing that you could possibly say, right? Derek Carr got hurt on an extended play. Like, he was running, scrambling around. And truth be told is this. You guys swipe up. I'm going to share a very important thing about NFL locker rooms here. What most people don't know and realize about NFL locker rooms is that NFL locker rooms are like dysfunctional families. They function just like your dysfunctional family. There's, on some level, there's the drunk uncle, you know, that comes in making inappropriate comments. Back in my day, so there's him. There's the super religious auntie, the one that no matter what it is, it all falls back to Jesus, or it all falls back to the Jehovah's Witness and why you aren't reading your Watchtower or awake enough, whatever it is, right? Or you're not Catholic enough, whatever the hell it is. So you always have that super religious family member. And then there's the one guy, the mooch, the one that's just there for the free food and is going to pack up and take a lunch on the way home. That's the guy that's just, you know what, I'm just here to pick up my check, try to stay out of the way, not do too great, not do too little, just be here as long as possible. Then there's the playboys. Every family has a playboy. This is the NFL locker room. It's a dysfunctional family. There's the drunk, the super religious, the mooch. Then there's the playboy. Then there's somebody who always wants to make everybody laugh. And then you got the dad upstairs. The dad upstairs who just yells from upstairs when he hears something break. You know, when he hears too much commotion downstairs, he's yelling, hey, what y'all kids doing? What y'all doing down there? This is what the NFL is. No matter whether you are the Patriots, no matter whether you are the Bengals, the Buccaneers right now who are bad, or the Rams, the NFL is like a dysfunctional family. There are some teams that are close-knit. There are some dysfunctional families that are close-knit. They stick together no matter what. That's what families do, and that's what an NFL family is. It's a bunch of dysfunction that is supposedly collectively trying to achieve one goal. Oh, how about the Patriots? No, the Patriots are the same thing. They had a murderer on their team. They've had all sorts of people on their team. The difference between the Patriots, while they're successful with their dysfunction, and other teams aren't, is because they have narcs. They have narcs. If you're in high school and the kids are selling drugs, there are narcs. Those are the people who run around policing, snitching, making sure they go back and tell the management about what's going on. That way they can police the locker room and keep the temperature and get the quote unquote bad seeds out, the renegades, the rebels out. That's what it is. I mean, because I can tell you there was a time I got in a fight with a teammate in the locker room. I got in a fight. So here's the levels of dysfunction of NFL locker rooms. I was hurt that year. So I had I ended up going on IR at the end of the season because I hurt my back. I herniated a couple discs. But this was the time before I got on IR. I was going through epidurals and all that. And there was this dude on our team, wide receiver, kept just bothering me, right? Just talking mess. And I'm sitting there like, yo, bro, like I pulled him to the side like you're supposed to do as a man, right? Pulled him to the side. Hey, man, listen, I'm all with all the fun and jokes. I'm all with all the games and all this, but you're taking it a little bit too far. Like you're getting a little too personal. You know, you should back off a little bit. He says, okay, cool, no problem, G. I got you. Thanks for talking to me like a man. The next day, this fool keeps up going on, like making jokes, talking about this and that, because when I was younger, I stuttered super bad, even when I was in the league. And people would just make fun of it sometimes, and he was that guy. So what the dude does is he continues to make fun every day, all day. And one of his friends, a guy that he played with, told me, he pointed out to me, he said, you know what, G? This dude, he said, do you ever wonder why his wife wears sweaters in the summertime? Do you ever wonder why she's always covered up, despite the fact that we live in Florida? And I hadn't even thought about it, right? He said, listen, bro, there are bruises all up underneath there. And I was like, damn. Okay. Now I got some more ammunition for this dude. So we're sitting in the team meeting room, right? It was either an offensive meeting or a full team meeting. And he's sitting on the other end of the locker room. I'm sorry, of the team meeting room. And he says to me, he's going on and on and on. So then I'm sitting on the other side. Mind you, my back is hurt. And I tell him, like, oh, wait, hold up, bro. Stand up and say what it is that you got to say like a man. Don't be over there whispering like a little chick. This is what I said to him, except for I didn't use such nice terms. This is a family-friendly show. I said a couple choice words to him. And he stood up and said how he was going to beat me up and this and that. He'd fight me and all this. So you know what I told him? I said, you know what? I checked your history, checked everything about you. The only person that you ever beat up, the only person you fought is your wife, right? So I know that is fighting words but I knew what was going to happen. So we get in a fight And after, he threatens to kill me. So he tells me he's going to kill me, right? And Jackie ended up sending him home because of that. And a couple days later, we're back playing on the same team, blocking for each other, all this and that. We never kissed and made up. We never apologized, never talked about it again. But that's what it is. That's what an NFL locker room is like. It's a dysfunctional family. Like, you can't expect that you're going to have 52 people who are essentially mercenaries like agree on everything and get along. Like, it's just not normal. I mean, it is incredible. Like, when you think about the other things that have happened in locker rooms, right? I mean, it's become this culture of spilling the tea. Everybody wants to tell all the stories. Everybody wants to be the one to break all the news. And Miko Grimes, who is Brent Grimes' wife, had the nerve to come out and say that she believed that Derek Carr, that his offensive line let him get sacked and let him get hurt. It doesn't even make sense. The Raiders' offensive line hadn't played well at all this year. And you think it's because of the protests? You think it's because they're mad at Derek Carr? No, everybody in the locker room loves Derek Carr. That's just the truth. They can be mad at him, but they're still going to block for him because they want their damn checks. That's the truth. I mean, it's phenomenal to me that anybody would even say that. And Miko Grimes is literally the 2017 version of Jackie Christie. Jackie Christie, if you don't know, she's on like Real Housewives. No, she's not on Real Housewives. She's on Basketball Wives. She used to be, well, she's married to Doug Christie. She's like follows him around all over the place. Like, Miko Grimes is Jackie Christie. And her stories are based on a true story. They're not actually true stories. They're based on a true story. But they're hyped up on some level. This is just who she is. This is what it is. This is how you should take it. This is like a comedy sketch. She was on The Breakfast Club. This is the place for you to go spill the tea. Like, come on, man. She's just waiting to get on Football Wives or Basketball Wives or something like that. It is, and speaking of dysfunctional families and continuing to go on, voting, right? Today's election day. And I cannot for the life of me. First of all, before we even go further, you guys swipe up, make sure you like the feed, share the feed, swipe over, share it so we can continue the conversation, make it great. And I love your input as well, guys. And also, if you guys have any crazy stories, anything you want to share, the anonymous emails will come out on Thursday. I already got a couple great ones this week. unafraidshow@gmail.com. Send us whatever it is that you want to talk about, and I will answer it. It's election day. And the most elementary thing that people can do, to me, is voting along party lines. Can anybody explain to me why you believe that it's a good idea to vote along party lines? Like, it makes zero sense to me. Because, like, I get that there is an element of it that people say, oh, well, if I vote for a Democrat or I vote for a Republican and my values kind of lend itself to either side, right? Then that creates a more likely that legislation is going to be passed that I agree with. But that's not necessarily true. I mean, that's literally like saying I'm a straight man. I like women. But all women have my best interest at heart. No, that's not true. So why would you vote along party lines? Because there are scumbags and criminals and crooks, no matter what side of the aisle that you live on. It's phenomenal to me when people do that. Because, like, where is the independent thought? Like, where is saying, all right, you know what? I agree with this politician on this issue. I agree with him on that issue. Because the reality is they're going to let you down if you just vote along party lines. It makes no sense to me, and it's elementary. And people have tried to give me a rational explanation to it. Oh, well, my family is Republicans. We're always Democrats. Why wouldn't you vote for who's going to do the best job? Because no matter whether you're a Republican or Democrat, if this dude is crooked, no matter the legislation that he passes that you agree with, if you are pro-choice, if you're pro-life, if you are whatever it is, the legislation that he passes that you agree with, he's going to turn around and do 18 things that are going to hurt you as a person. So why vote along party lines? Why not just, like, here's a novel idea. Read a book. Read about your candidates. Watch some videos. Do whatever. But voting along party lines because it, quote unquote, like, you agree with the party's philosophy. The candidate may not agree with the party's philosophy. So why not just vote for the best person? Makes no sense. And if you believe that just because a person has an R or a D in front of their name, I mean, Anthony Weiner, let's look at him, pedophile, essentially. Pedophile. But you think that he's going to do things just more like if you voted for him? No. What party he's affiliated with? No, because he's doing pedophilic things. Doesn't make sense. Same thing like Representative Tim Murphy out of Pennsylvania. Oh, he's pro-life. Oh, I'm super pro-life. But then I got a mistress and I'm going to have her give an abortion. So it brings into question every piece of legislation that you bring up. Makes no sense. I mean, where on earth is there any accountability and an independent thought? Like, can we just say, you know what? I'm going to think about this. I'm not just going to vote for whoever is in the party that I say. All right. Last thing up, though, today is Alabama. The 2009, Sports Illustrated, they published a report on Monday that alleges that 2 players from Alabama's 2009 national championship team accepted cash in exchange for signing their names to memorabilia. So this dude, Adam Bollinger and Cliff Panacek, sold signed sports memorabilia, and they said that they paid a guy named Marcus Johnson and Terrence Cody, the one who ended up playing for the Ravens, $200 and $400 respectively in December 2009. When I read this, I'm like, why did Sports Illustrated even print this? Like, why? We're talking about $200 and $400. Like, and of course, the NCAA is going to do an investigation over this $600 about players that have been gone from the program. It's hilarious. I mean, they're chasing their tails. Oh, yeah. I got information. I got information that Russell Wilson cheated on a test in college. I got information that Tom Brady got a tattoo or got a dinner that he wasn't supposed to when he was in college. Doesn't make sense. So then you got to dig deeper and further into the situation. So last December, Panacek, one of the guys that said that he paid the Alabama players in 2009, had the nerve so he pleaded guilty in Ohio for aggravated theft, identity fraud, telecommunications fraud, money laundering, and engaging in a pattern of corrupt activity and 3 counts of forgery with forfeiture specification. Excuse me? And I'm supposed to believe what this dude says when the players deny it as well? That's tomfoolery. I mean, that is tomfoolery at its highest levels. I mean, why on earth would I believe a dude that says that he paid players when he himself cannot be trustworthy? I mean, he's clearly not a trustworthy person. Clearly not. So why on earth would I believe him? And also, this is a dude who's going to jail. So he wants his 15 minutes of fame. I'm going to take somebody else down because they didn't say happy birthday to me. Because reality is, if Alabama players were paid a couple $100 to sign autographs, and mind you, the team wasn't even involved. This dude like snuck up to the dorms. He snuck up to the dorms and he said he waited. So how on earth would the program be affected by that? But his timing, though, is very curious because he says December 2016. Because guess what? I'm sorry, December 2009. Who won the national championship that year? Alabama, undefeated. AJ McCarron. I don't think AJ McCarron was. Yeah, AJ McCarron. And you're going to tell me that this wasn't premeditated by this dude who's going to jail? Of course it was. Because the reality is that even if these dudes did take $200 and $400, these Alabama players in 2009, A, why do I care now? And B, did it affect the national championship game? I think they played against Notre Dame. I mean, how? I mean, it didn't affect anything on the game. Not even a little bit. Were the players on the field too old? Nope. Were they too young? Nope. Did they pass all their classes? Yeah. Okay, so why on earth are you trying to take these kids down, and why should I care? When in reality, the players are out there making money and everybody else is trading on their name. So why on earth would I care about the kids getting a little bit of dough, getting a little bit of cash? Doesn't make sense to me. Because the NCAA is the only place in America where we stop people from trading on their name to make money. And in addition to stopping them from trading on their name, we make sure, the NCAA makes sure that every dollar that gets passed through passes through them first, way before it trickles down to the student athletes. But this is just another case of the NCAA and their broken system. But, I mean, and of course, they're going to waste our dollars that we have poured into the NCAA and waste blood, sweat, and tears on an investigation about another non-topic that they aren't going to do anything about, that they may put Alabama on probation or something like that for some idiocy. You guys, please make sure you like the feed, share the feed, swipe up, continue the conversation. unafraidshow@gmail.com. Send us whatever you got. I will answer it. It'll be up on Thursday, up on unafraidshow.com. Check us out. I will catch you guys tomorrow. Peace out.